Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're gonna do Master League Premier Classic top team recommendation, and Johnny Red Jar will assist us with the battles. Of course, he won more battles than you're gonna see here, so huge shout out to him. And before we start, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot this community that we have built over here expand even more. So with that said, now let's dive into the freaking battles. Okay, battlers, we have a great team here with Garchomp up in the lead, which is a generalist. It has a wide coverage for the meta. It is part dragon, part ground, so it is losing hard to ice and charm. With those aside, this Pokemon can really shine. Dragonite is another counter for Garchomp, but still without rage, you are gonna do a lot of damage at the point that you may farm it down with your mud shots. Also, this Pokemon is super easy to use it as a bait machine since it has access to Sand Tomb, and if you bait correctly, Sand Tomb will just destroy the opponent with a debuff, and then you can finish off either with your backline or with your mud shot, outrage, earth power, whatever you want combo. At the back we have Walrein, which is the Pokemon you expected for this video, and it is bulky and it is spammy, that's all, because it doesn't have quite the damage that it needs to be on the upper rankings like in Great League and Ultra League. So you're gonna be super predictable if you are using Walrein, since this Pokemon is expected to land in a lot of teams, to be honest. So using Walrein might come with a con, since you are gonna be super predictable and your opponent might bring a fighter or even electric types to counter down that thick, not whale, that thick monster. Yeah, it is a monster overall, look at that size. Anyways, Metagross at the back, and we're gonna have a safe pick, the king of the meta. You know the drill with this one, we're gonna feature it in other teams as well, so we're gonna talk about it in a while. And no weakness at all, okay? I put a weakness here, the low charge, but it is not a weakness for real, right? And if I was gonna pick a core breaker, I made that punch with the crack. So yeah, on Illustrator I do stuff like that, and we are gonna have the Gyarados as a core breaker because it can destroy down with Dragon Breath to Dragon Tail the Garchomp, and also has a great matchup against Metagross, and against Walrein can even tank 4 Icicle Spears, so that's one Pokemon for you to note down, but still you can do a lot of damage to that Pokemon, so this team has a wide coverage overall. Time for a double fighter at the back, an ABB team, yeah, you guessed it right. So Magnezone up in the lead, Steel typing, which is a generalist, a core breaker. All those Dragonites, Metagrosses, Gyarados cores are just gonna get destroyed, and also Walrein, so that's another pro for you to use that Magnezone, and it has access to Mirror Shot, which can still debuff the opponent and also can apply Shield Pressure with its moves. If you get debuffed, it's all good, you can still go to your Machamp as a safe switch, and I prefer it as a safe switch because it is spammier than Conkeldurr, and it can still draw shields with its moveset. Its weaknesses, it's gonna be Fairy, obviously, it's the same Pokemon as the Conkeldurr, but they have some slight differences, so without Fairy, those two can really shine, and if your opponent still has a Fairy, Machamp will just draw it out, just finish off with your Magnezone, and then your closer Conkeldurr will be the unexpected second fighter to finish off the match, and you can see that it also has a high DPS, and I prefer it as a closer since it has access to Dynamic Punch, to Stone Edge, and yeah, that's pretty much all. It can really hurt the flyers and also deal super effective damage to those steel types or any other neutral threat like the Hydreigon over here. And as a core breaker, you can see the punch. We have the Garchomp. Garchomp is just gonna be amazing. So with this team composition, you might struggle a little bit, especially up in the lead, but the backline can handle it somehow. And another thing that I would like to tell you is about Swampert. For Swampert, I would always go for the switch to Machamp for the Swampert lead. But still you can do in the end game if they also swap out and have their Swampert against your Magnezone. You can still do a lot of damage with your double wild charge against Swampert, so so do not think that because you have a not very effective move against a Pokemon you cannot win. Wild Charge still does a lot. Now trainers, we have a team with Togekiss up in the lead, Swampert and Metagross at the back, and the core breaker for this one is gonna be the Milotic, but we're gonna get there. So Togekiss, what a great Pokemon. No, it is not, I hate it, but it's all good because it has only one thing that it is good about this one. It is the pressure that it applies with its charm. It has nothing else. It is charging its fast moves really slow, and it really gets gold by stealing fire, mainly still for the meta, but you never know what you might encounter out there. So Togekiss, a really good leader only because of the charm, nothing else to say there. Swampert is gonna be a generalist and a spammy Pokemon for you to check out, since it is gonna be at a very good position against the entire meta, but not the dragons. It is super afraid of the dragons. It will just get to those moves really fast, but still it will not be enough because dragons for the current meta are gonna be a huge thing. And Metagross, which is a generalist and a safe pick, as we said before, because it is the king of the meta, and you're gonna have a lot of clear matchups with Metagross. However, there are counters for that Pokemon like Excadrill and Gyarados, so you have to take note of those, but still you can do a lot of things to the rest of the meta, and that's something really good for this team composition. And Milotic, as we said, because it beats down the whole team over here, but it has some soft wins against Togekiss, so you might get a little bit of extra farm with your backline, and that's something that I would take note of when using my team, because you may lose the lead, but still you can go pretty hard on the backline. And Metagross with energy has really no counters out there, especially with the shield advantage. Here we have now the Gyarados, Dragonite, Excadrill line. You can see that Gyarados is pretty good up in the lead, generalist, core breaker. It can also have a lot of close matchups, so that the backline can easily farm down, and it has one pure weakness, the electric type, since something like a Magnezone will just tear it down, so take note of that. And yeah, generalist, core breaker, a lot of Pokemon out there that can struggle against Gyarados. Dragonite, Metagross, all those are just gonna be its prey, but it all depends on its fast attack, Dragon Breath or Waterfall. Dragonite is the safe swap of this team, high DPS, and it also pressures the opponent doing some mistakes and grabs shields pretty much easily, but it has a weakness to Fairy, and because of that I prefer Waterfall on my Gyarados instead of Dragon Breath, since it will have better matchups against Togekiss or Sylveon, and that is gonna put me in a better position overall. But it's still good if the opponent has a charm, since we have Excadrill as our closer for this team composition. Excadrill is spammy, deals a lot of damage, and can also hold down Metagross, which is really huge, and the Dragonite as well. So another core breaker for you to check out is gonna be the Excadrill. I may not have put it there, but yeah, it is a core breaker for sure. And also it's glassy, so it cannot take hits. Keep your shields for the closer. Dragonite is fairly bulky, it can take the hits. Perhaps sacrifice one for the Gyarados if you want to have a closer matchup up in the lead, but if you can shield twice your Excadrill in the end, yeah, I think it is gonna be pretty much a GG, and you have double flyers, so you can deal with those fighters with this, or even Swampert. And at the back, the core breaker for this team, not at the back, is gonna be the Avalag. You may wonder, come on Ganetto, what are you talking about? Avalag? Yes, Avalag is having access to Ice Fang, is another new Pokemon alongside Walrein for the Master League Premier Classic. It is not gonna be that good, but with Ice Fang you might see some Avalags out there. Hopefully not a lot of trainers are gonna have that Pokemon because it was not out for a long time, but it can still bait shields with its move. I think it has access to Body Slam, Ice Fang for sure. So yeah, the Gyarados and Dragonite matchups are gonna be super bad with Avalag, so that's something that you should always have in mind when using this team composition. Gyarados is a generalist and a core breaker. Those two actually go together most of the times, but not all the time. You can see that a generalist means that it has a wide coverage for the meta, but core breakers that it destroys down Metagross, Dragonites, but it all depends on its moveset. for the fast attack, Dragon Breath for the dragons, Waterfalls for Togekiss and Metagross, yeah, stuff like that. So one weakness that this Pokemon has is electric, and I also added there the close matchups. It is not good, not bad, it has soft wins against the meta. I prefer my soft wins with this team composition because my backline can easily farm down, it has access to strong fast attack moves. But if you have something like a Swampert at the back and you still use Gyarados, perhaps, I say perhaps, you might not want that close matchup because a matchup might not be enough to finish off in time and you're gonna have to burn a shield or two. Matchup at the back as a closer this time, not the safe swap, and we're gonna have a high DPS from this team, and the shield pressure is just gonna be amazing. Without a fairy type out there, I think that Machamp can really shine in the meta, and especially if Walrein really comes out from some certain trainers. And Metagross as well for the current theme is also gonna be there. Look at that thick beast, metal beast, just gonna be here as the safe switch, as the safe pick for this team, and it's just gonna destroy the opponent. You also do not have to burn shields for Metagross, just keep them for Machamp, but Metagross is just gonna do its job pretty much effectively. And the core breaker for this team is gonna be the Gengar. Not a lot of Gengars exist out there, but you might encounter some, and Gengar really works pretty well against Machamp and Metagross and can burn shields from Gyarados. So yeah, take that on your mind and play safely with this team composition. That's all, trainers. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. I hope you had a nice time and great time watching this video. Perhaps this Master League Premier Classic is gonna be something that we needed as a community, so yeah, I need it. It feels like a healthy meta, and perhaps I will have more time to compete in Go Battle League this time. So with that said, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, write down in the comment section which is gonna be the best team for you, and if you prefer one from this video, it is gonna help each other out. So a lot of people are writing in the comments all the time, so if you can write as well, this is gonna be super awesome. So be sure to leave a like to this video, subscribe to the channel, it helps the algorithm spread around the world that we exist over here. And with that said, farewell to you, trainers. I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, everyone.